All right, guys, Mr. Antonucci here. Are you taking an AP Math exam? AP Calc AB, BC, AP Statistics, or AP Pre-Calc? In this video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know for the digital exam format for multiple choice and free response questions, including the hybrid format. Let's jump in. Access the Bluebook app, sign in with your College Board credentials. You're going to need to know your username and password. It's not going to autofill even if you have autofill set up on your account regularly. So once you sign into the Bluebook app, you'll have to agree to these policies. Click Next. You can click on Test Preview if you want, and then Test Type. We're going to do AP. I'm going to do AP Calculus AB, but depending on the class you're in, you could do any of the other ones. You can enable accommodations here. I'm not going to do that. So notice in the upper middle here, we have a timer, so you can track time. With this on-screen timer, you can hide this, though it will show for the last 5 minutes of the exam. This is just a preview version, so there's no time limit on it, but the time would be a countdown timer as soon as you start the exam here. You can navigate freely in between questions in the particular section you're in. So if I want to skip to question 4, I could do that. While you're in a particular question, you can mark it for review, and then it will show up in your question list here as being marked for review. Notice the unanswered questions have a dotted line around them. Another nice feature is these multiple choice pieces here. You can eliminate these answers. So if you're sure it's not a particular answer, you can cross it off. To select an answer, you just simply click on it. Then you could click Next for the next question. Then if we go back to our menu here, you can see that this question is answered. If you go to your review page, it basically shows a bigger version of that. And it'll show you all the ones that are answered and the unanswered ones, and you can go back to the questions by clicking on them from there. Additional features are highlights and notes here. So if I want to highlight a particular passage, I would just click and drag on it. You can highlight it there. You can also add notes. You can also underline the text with different types of underlining. You can also add notes by clicking on this little icon here, and you can type notes there. Now, those notes are not graded. Those are just for your personal notes. You can also change your answer. Like if I was like, oh, I want to go back and change this to B, I can change that to B. You can always go back and change any answer to any question in a particular section until the time expires. Also, the question view may be different. You may have an inline view like this where you have the problem above and the choices below, or you can have a split screen where you have the question on the left and your answer choices on the right. You can also adjust back and forth to adjust where the split is. You can always access the directions to the test right here. They will be specific for your test. Clicking the More, you have options for help, different keyboard shortcuts, assistive technology, line reader, if you need to take an unscheduled break, and then also exit the exam. So the multiple choice sections, whether you have parts A and B or just one multiple choice section, are all going to be on Bluebook. You are allowed to bring your own approved calculator device, though I would recommend using the embedded calculator right here that's in the exam, and it is the Desmos calculator. You can move back and forth, adjust it around, make it bigger, make it smaller, and it does include all the functions available for your specific exam. Now, on the calculus and pre-calculus AP exams, calculators are only allowed in certain parts. In the AP Stats exam, it's allowed for the entire exam. Now, let's move on to section 2, which deals with free response questions. Since this is a hybrid exam, all the multiple choice questions are going to be in Bluebook. For the free response questions, the question prompts will be in Bluebook, and then you will record your answers in the answer booklet provided. Now, for the free response section, I wanted to look at the AP Stats exam. Although the calculus and pre-calculus are going to be very similar. The only distinction is this reference right here. This is your formula sheet, and this is available for AP Stats only on both multiple choice and free response questions. You would just click that. It's organized by the different categories, And also up here, you have your stats, and then you have your different tables. You hit the plus, it'll open up the table here, and you can also move this around and expand the view so you can see more of it. If we go back to stats, you can open these up, and you have the different formulas that you're used to from your formula sheet all embedded in here. So for section 2, free response in the hybrid format, questions, prompts, and instructions are going to appear in Bluebook, and you must write your answers by hand in the paper booklets. I have a couple preview examples of what the answer booklet looks like for the different math subjects here. So this is AP Calculus. You have your first page where you fill out your information. Then it's just blank pages, but aligned to specific questions and question parts. So this is question 1, part A and B, and then C and D, and then question 2, A and B, C and D. And then on the Calc AB exam, section 2, part B has no calculators allowed, so that's clearly labeled at the top here, and then you just go through those. Calc BC is going to be the exact same thing. Pre-calculus, same exact thing as well. You have your non-calculator and calculator parts clearly labeled. On the AP stats, you are allowed to use the calculator for the whole thing. So you just have the blank pages aligned with specific questions and or question parts. So you want to make sure that you match the correct question from Bluebook to the answer booklet. Make sure you're using the correct page and version and follow all the on-screen instructions. You're still going to have access to the timer, highlighting and notes, flagging questions, and navigating buttons. If for some reason you do run out of space, you can request additional paper to write your answers on. For calculus and pre-calculus, section 2 is split into 2 parts. Part A, calculators are allowed or Desmos, and part B, no calculators are permitted. So at the end of the exam, your section 1 answers from the multiple choice will be automatically submitted, and you'll get a confirmation screen. For section 2, free response, when your time is up, you'll have to stop writing, place your answer booklet face down, and wait for dismissal from your proctor. So a quick checklist for you. Make sure you bring your College Board login info. Make sure your device is fully charged. Know the calculator rules by the exam and section. Make sure you read the Bluebook instructions carefully. Use the correct booklet page and question number when you're answering free response questions. Make sure you keep an eye on that timer and stop writing when the time ends. All right, guys, hope that was helpful to you, and good luck on your AP exam this year.